Hello humans, and welcome to another rambling morning, doing my morning walk here. And man, it looks like it's gonna be a very nice day. Well, I have a couple of stories to share with you today, and let me tell you, the first one is a question that Potion Sword Run asked on his video about people and what the hell is wrong with you guys. As far as people who fall into these things, as far as, these retro consoles, the Intellivision 3 being the latest and what have you. And, people might have different reasons, but I think in general, I think it's a good question to ask as Gen Xers, because, it really is us that's doing all this crap, right? And, there's different types, I think, of people that are involved in these things, and we never look at ourselves, and say, well, why is it that we're doing this crap, right? And the real reason, look at those guys down there, the real reason, I think, is a little bit sad when you think about it, right? But let's analyze what type of gamers we have here, right? We have like the Devout Narcissist, right? The guys that you never want to invite anywhere because they're always right about video games. That is pretty much their life. That is how they identify pretty much in like 90% of their life. They're on YouTube, and they want to be right about everything. You never want to take them into a bar, right? These guys are never going to get you laid. They're no wingman, right? They just no, you might have a soft spot for them because you admire their knowledge of video games, but in just general, they're not very sociable outside of talking about video games. We have those kind of Gen Xers. We have the other ones that are just genuine lovers of retro games. That's all they play. They don't even play modern games. All they do is play retro games. And as I'm speaking and I'm telling you, you can actually assign these personalities to people that you see on YouTube sometimes and what have you. They just like playing older video games. They're set in their ways. They're old, the old man cringe community, if you will. And you also have the degenerates like me. We just buying everything in sight, right? You can't get enough of this. Just addictive personalities, right? And I'm going to be self-critical here, and it's addictive. I mean, I've always had an addictive personality. I can't be addicted to the same things anymore because the doctor says I can't. And I'm a family man now and stuff, right? But I'm a very happy degenerate. I mean, the hobby that I've chosen is pretty family friendly. The wife is okay with it. I don't collect actively anymore, but I have more games, I would say, that most normal people do, right? So, and there's others, right? There's others, but I'm just giving you an overlay, right? A lay of the land of who typically is putting their face out there, because you also have a silent majority out there. People that will back these, but will never say, right? People that watch videos, like this one, right? Of us being self-critical and stuff, and probably you're in forums or what have you, and you might or might not express these opinions. But a lot of people just listen, enjoy for entertainment, and that's cool. And if you do stop by, hit that like button, by the way. Make sure you subscribe if you like these kind of videos. But behind it all, you know what it is? And, I've looked at it. I've thought about it ever since yesterday. I was making sandwiches when I was watching that video. It's relevance. It's relevance, It's very hard for Generation X, for us, right? And this is the way a lot of people feel. I mean, I don't particularly feel this way, right? I mean, for me, is the more people that enjoy this stuff, the better, right? But I think people in general of my generation, a lot of them feel that we came up with a lot of this stuff, right? We came up with the arcade, we came up with a computer, we came up with the, video games, cartridges, the CDs. I mean, this comes straight from our generation. This is something we thought was ours, right? Ours in every way. And we grew up that way. And all of a sudden, all of us, right, as a collection of people that play video games, are realizing that we are no longer relevant to the market, right? Nobody cares. Nobody cares what you think. And it's just, some people have a hard time accepting it, right? Once you become a grandfather, right? And if you look back at yourself and you look back at your life, were you looking at your grandpa asking him, what he thought about what was cool in your mind? No, you didn't. Absolutely not. You never looked to your grandfather, your grandmother as a source of inspiration to see what's trendy out there, right? And as an older person, you don't care what's trendy. You have other things on your mind. But it's a fight for relevance in something that you've always thought it was yours. You've dedicated your life to video games. You know about video games. You know about past video games, mostly. And this new generation of players has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with what you value in games. It has nothing to do with what you value in experience. They don't care about physical media, right? If their games end, they don't care. Right? And your preferences, right? The fact that you don't like them, that you scream at the sky that you don't like V-Bucks and you don't like Fortnite and you don't like all this pay-for-service stuff, makes no difference. Zero. Because you are not the market. You're not the market anymore. You're not the one who gets to determine what's good and what's not anymore. Right? The public determines that. We may like our own things. Right? Like I like my own type of video games. But I know I'm in the minority, right? I know that I'm in a minority of what I play, of what I like, and what have you. And probably because I am sort of a degenerate when it comes to video game collecting, and I already know that what I'm doing is not typical, right? Filling a room with video games just so I can sit there and play one of them and just enjoy my time in the room more than anything else, is not what my friends do. It's not what people do. It's just, this is what I do, right? So I don't think that it should be the norm for everybody else. But a lot of people out there think that the way they do things, they're set in the ways, should be the way that everybody else should see them in the video game market. And they can't, right? They can't determine that. The video game market is going to do what it does. Young people are going to choose what they're going to choose. So all they have is funding these projects in order to stay relevant in the market, in order to stay relevant in the video game industry. It's the last straw that you have, right? And it reminds me of a friend that I have that is a musician, quote unquote. And he loves music for sure, right? And he plays music, but he doesn't get paid to play music. He actually pays to play music for people. So instead of him getting hired at a bar, right, so he could play for people, he has to go to the bar and tell them he's going to pay them, right, in order to play, and he gets nothing. He gets absolutely jack shit. Right? He doesn't get a cut of the drinks. He doesn't get a cut of the door. He doesn't get jack shit other than saying, I'm playing at this bar. Right? And it's the same thing that these people do. They pay for these projects in order to get access, in order to have some sort of relevance in the video game industry. And this is now we're talking about niche markets, whether it's homebrew or crowdfunded projects or anything like that. Right? You're on the ground floor you're going to be an expert again on this particular subject. You're going to be in YouTube, you're going to be whatever. But the fact is that we're not. Our time is over. There's a time to age gracefully, to bow out, right? I like what's going on in the video game market. I wish things could happen differently. Would I fund a project that I would believe in? Like if somebody was to make a Sega Saturn style console that took discs and took carts and people would develop for it, I would be right in there, you know. But do I think that's what's good for society? Do I think that's going to be relevant to the market? No, it's not. It's just going to be, you know, a niche product for myself and, you know, for other people that enjoy physical media. But our time is over. And I think the real reason people fall for these things is not so much that they fall, but they still need to have that connection to the things that they grew up with the things that they think belong to them in their soul, which is video games. It's a struggle for being relevant in today's society, a society that doesn't really value your opinions anymore. But society is not important. It shouldn't be important to you, your family, your friends, the people that love you. Those are the people who you should worry about being relevant to, not people on the internet. All right, humans, I'll catch you on the next one. I have a very, very funny story about my experiences at McDonald's this morning. So stay tuned. Take care.